Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another DC Multiverse action figure review on not just one figure. Today we're going to look at 7 figures in one video. Yeah, that sounds like a lot, but it's really just 2 new figures and then everything else is a repaint. So we're gonna quickly go over those, but we're gonna mostly look at these 2 figures right over here. Gotta give a big thanks to McFarlaneToys for sending out these samples my way. You can see we have the armored suit Batman, Knightmare Batman, the False God Superman. Here's the Platinum Edition Kryptonite Spear Batman. This 2-pack right here with Knightmare Batman that's masked, and then we have a half-masked armored Batman. We're gonna also look at this Darkseid with Throne. But anyway, these are looking pretty awesome. Packaging right here is what you'd expect. You get images on the back and not much more on the top or the bottom. They do have this nice tan color reminiscent of the movie's theme, so that's cool. Anyway, let's get to it and crack these things open. And if you're trying to get your DC Multiverse figures, you can do so.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here are all the figures out of the packaging. And again, the only 2 real new figures over here are the Knightmare Batman and the Armored Batman, which, oh my goodness. I tell you right off the bat, I really do like this figure. I did open up these Platinum Editions. Ooh, yeah, variants, rare, spooky, but they actually both look really cool. But we'll get into all of this in a very short moment. So I'm on a Superman kick. Let's go ahead and start with Superman. By the way, I do love the Henry Cavill Superman. I think he always played a great Superman, and I really think McFarlaneToys did a great job with this silver paint. It's a novelty piece. Not everybody needs this novelty piece in their collection, but damn it, they had one job, and that's give it lots of silver paint, and they did that job. Anyway, you can see it says False God right over there. Does dull out a little bit on the upper torso. You can see it's a little bit more vibrant right here on the arms, but for the most part, I do like this whole silver scheme going on right here. I think this is what's best for the statue pose right over here. You got the cupping hand, the wide open hand right over there, and yeah, it looks pretty nice, man. Same thing as this body mold right here, which we'd seen before, but we have a different cape. So the cape is made out of a different material on this figure, and it still has the bendy wire, which I really do like a lot. Slightly shorter cape, by the way, which I kind of like to see. And he comes with the same interchangeable hands as the other Supermans. A gripping hand on the left side and a pointing finger for the right, and an even set of fist hands. You get the trading card right over here where you can see that statue. And then there's the read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. Oh yeah, and he comes with the DC Multiverse base too. Here's looking at Darkseid, and man, I love what they did with the paint on this one. It looks much better. It's quite an improvement compared to this one right over here, which I do prefer having the blue. I do like this blue a lot more, but aside from that, I really do love all this paint right over here. It makes the skin sculpt look even better. They did such a good job with that. Looking at this one, this arm is missing a big old piece of paint right there. Just not nearly as much paint as we're seeing on this one. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with how this Darkseid came out. Can't remember if the purple is more film accurate. It's just that when I think of Darkseid, I think of gray and blue. So that's why I still prefer the blue one. But yeah, looks cool. The purple has some variety of color in it. You can see a little bit of gray or silver over it. So it's not just only the purple, so I do like that. Yeah, you can see that silver dry brushing over it, so it's a pretty nifty looking upgrade. I would consider it an upgrade overall. And then he comes with the same weapon right over here that we saw last time. Again, the plastic for this is very malleable. It doesn't hold shape as well as I'd like it to. And he does come with his throne right here, looking pretty cool. I like this, you know, it's not too bad. Very hollow. You know, so fairly cheap stuff, but, you know, it's painted well, so I like that. All the cracks and everything. I guess they have vents under the seat to cool his ass. Holy crap, I almost completely forgot this lentacular backdrop that goes to the throne, and you can see those flames changing, kind of, right? A little bit tricky to see through the camera, but it has these 2 little holes on it, and it's made out of very thick cardboard, so yeah, don't forget this, don't throw it away. I almost did, but yeah, with those 2 holes right there, these 2 pegs on the back of the throne, you just push those right through, and now you have this awesome looking display piece, which, yeah, I just caught this last minute. I didn't take a lot of photos with this at all, but it does look cool, and it stands at about 12 inches tall. And this white band right there is just from my lights. It doesn't really have that, see? And here's the first of the two new figures we have, which may have a reused head sculpt over here. It's the same exact thing. It's okay if it's the same, but it is painted differently, which I like. You know, you can see the dirt on his face. The flesh tone's a lot darker. He only has a couple of accessories. He has these goggles, which, I don't know, I just feel the need to leave these on the top of his forehead right here. And you can see we have some nice brown paint over them. Actually, haven't been able to get them over his eyes. The trench coat's pretty cool. It's not really consistent with the paint apps, though. You can see we get a color difference in the tans right here between the center part of the coat and the arms. You get the sleeves right over there with the bat spikes. And I do have his binoculars in hand right here, so that's his one accessory aside from the goggles. Oh, and of course you get the trading card right here, and there's a read up on the back. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. I misplaced my Darkseid trading card. Oh yeah, you also get the stand. But yeah, looking at the torso, it does look pretty neat with the lighter gray color and everything on the symbol. Is this exactly the same? It is, yeah. It's all in the same spot with all those gashes. Pants are new over here. I like the military pants on this. And he's got his bat boots again, which can be tricky to shoot if you have that trench coat in the way. I do like the dirt right over here. Kind of an odd gray color, but I like that they've actually painted. So the two-pack version has a different head sculpt over here, which it's like, okay, it's just got the one thing that's different about it, aside from the accessories. Same deal with the arms right over here. Nothing different with the paint apps. He does not come with the binoculars like this one does, but he has a bunch of other accessories, which we'll look at in just 1 second. Now you can see he comes with a crossbow, which looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, I don't think this looks too bad. Kind of bent right here. This plastic is a bit wonky. Like, you can see this handgun right over here is all warped and everything, and straightening it out isn't going to be the funnest thing. I mean, you can do it, but it's always tricky with the type of plastic that they use. And then you can see you get this grenade launcher. I didn't realize till later the grenade launcher goes with the armored Batman. It's not supposed to go with the Knightmare Batman. Give it to the wrong Batman. I'm not the biggest fan of having Batman all loaded up with hella guns over here, you know? But here it is. Anyway, this does look pretty cool. There's two of these DC Multiverse stands that come with the 2-pack. And they come with the fancy versions of the trading cards right over here. So that's pretty neat. There's the read-up for the armored Batman. Holy crap, I almost forgot to mention that these two figures also come with this base right over here, which goes really well with that Nightmare sequence. So you can see we have some nice paint over this. Again, very hollow. It's got 2 pegs that stick out over here. That does kick up the value of this 2-pack over here, having this base. And that takes us to the first of the 3 armored Batmans that we're going to look at today. You can see this is the battle damaged version, and it does look pretty cool. I do like the blue around the eye right there. You can see a little bit of Ben Affleck in that face, but yeah, it's just got a different head sculpt compared to the regular version, which I'll show off in just a moment. But yeah, it's not a whole lot of different, but damn, this armor is sick as hell, dude. I really like this a lot. But he does come with interchangeable hands. I just want to make that very clear. So he's got this holding hand right here on each side. Then you have a fist hand on the left side and an open hand on the right side. Just overall, the paint on this, the sculpted detail on this, it is phenomenal. I love it. It looks so damn sick. Look at that wash over the belt. This is really badass. I love this thing, man. Damn, so sick. I really love looking at this thing, that gold paint. I love all the battle damage on this, and the paint applications are just phenomenal, man. And they didn't skip anything on the back. Maybe the butt's got paint on it too. Yeah. Damn, dude, they did this really well. Nice soft material right here. The cape itself over here is really good. Nice and tattered. Really, really dig this, man. And he comes with a grapple gun accessory. I forgot to show that off. This is fairly well painted as well. I do like how this came out. And then here is the regular version. And damn, dude. Yeah, this is my favorite one of the 3 Batmen. Very similar, of course. But damn, this is just so badass looking. I really love how this came out. Same thing as far as the paint applications go. So you're not going to see anything different with that. But damn, this is my favorite one of the 3. It just looks so damn sick. Just look at all that detail in the helmet right there. The gashes and everything. Damn, dude. I am very impressed with this. I really love this figure. This thing is awesome. The tattered cape, the bendy wire right here. Damn, it's just such a pleasure to look at. I think it's so dope. The regular version only comes with the interchangeable hands. So same 2 sets of hands that we saw with the 2-pack version. And lastly, we have the Platinum Edition Kryptonite Spear version right here, which is the same Kryptonite Spear that came with the Superman Doomsday 2-pack. Only real difference is that it doesn't have the glow-in-the-dark paint, which I really wish this figure had. That would have been really cool, because this one glows in the dark. I didn't mention that in my review. I didn't know that at the time, but you can see that the paint is slightly different, and then this is all silver over here. This one's got a darker color to it. It's a darker blackish kind of silver color. Both of them a little bit warped. Again, me complaining about that plastic. But damn, look how this Kryptonite glowing green looks on this figure. It just looks so freaking cool. You can see a little bit of it on the cape right over here. I like how it looks just shining on this side of the mask. Or the helmet anyway. And then it maintains that silver. Well, it's not as vibrant. I gotta be honest with you. Like, it's shiny, but it's just not as shiny as the other two. You can see the silver on it and everything, so it's there, but it's just not as vibrant. And I gotta be honest, it doesn't really bug me that much because it's all about this side of the figure, you know what I mean? Like, all your attention's going to this green highlighting the metallic silver on the figure, so yeah, it doesn't really bother me too much. Just lift this up, you can see some green paint on the inside a little bit right there. No green paint on the back, but yeah, you can see how much of that green paint, it's just really on the front half right over there. You can see where it ends. Just trying to be thorough about where you can see this paint going. I guess he has some under his arm. But hey, when you have him standing there and he's got this thing next to him, you see it alongside him, I don't know, it's just fun to photograph. It looks really cool, man. I don't know, I dig it. But again, a novelty piece, not totally necessary. That's why they made it a Platinum Edition. I reviewed the Superman before, I've reviewed the Darkseid before, we know the articulation for those, but these I haven't reviewed yet. The head articulation is slightly different between these Dream Batmans, because you have that whole mask over there, over his face, so he can't really look down, but he can still look up a little bit and tilt his head some right there. This one you get more range of movement, looking up, looking down, and yeah, I don't want to heat up the goggles to go over his eyes, plus we already have this head sculpt to go with it. But other than the head joint, the articulation's the same. You get the ball joint right over there at the shoulder. You can move the shoulders outward that far and move inward that much, so not a lot of movement with this figure. I don't like how that bicep cut breaks things up. It's not really looking that great, but it's not the worst. Double jointed elbows, and then you have the pin hinge ball joint right here at the wrist, and they rotate. You have the diaphragm cut up there, which is tricky to use because you have to like stick your finger up behind the back of the figure to move that. And you also have the same ball joint at the waist, so he'll crunch forward that much. You won't, well, you could bend him back that much if you want, and you can move the hips. You can move the hips outward that much, and he'll kick forward only a little bit, back a little bit. No upper thigh cut. And then he has the double jointed knees that bend in all the way. No boot rotation, would have been nice, but he has ankle rotation. The ankles move down, they move up. He has beautiful ankle pivot and the toe articulation, which I didn't break in on this side yet. There it goes. So yeah, there's a toe articulation. Now the armored Batman is pretty damn dope, dude. I really like this a lot. You can move the head up that much and it moves down. You get a bit of side-to-side movement. It does get hindered by the collar of this armor and it pivots very well. You have the ball joint, butterfly joints, so it shifts forward and back, up and down just a tiny bit, but you can get the arms moving all the way outward, which is great. This is all nice and soft and moves with that shoulder. Rotate forward, rotate back, biceps swivel. Then you have the single jointed elbow that only meets less than 90 degrees right there. You could swivel the wrist and hinge it up and down or horizontally, depending on how you have it configured. You have a great diaphragm joint right here, and it pivots. Moves forward only a little bit and back, fairly loose on my figure. Then you have a ball joint at the waist, which I actually don't use that much except for the pivoting. As far as moving forward, it won't go that far. But yeah, you can see it'll rotate at the waist. Yeah, I can't really, well, there it goes. I had a hard time getting it rotating at the waist, but yeah, you can get it to rotate at the waist. The hips move outward very far, fairly flexible. Look how far he could kick, man. That's freaking awesome. Moves back a lot, a bit of wiggly waggly, but no real upper thigh cut right there. And then you have nice double jointed knees. The ankles rotate side to side. They move down a little bit, up some. Beautiful ankle pivot and toe articulation. And the bendy wire cape. I love the bendy wire cape. Yeah, bendy wire on both sides. Very cool cape. Now to measure out these figures, you can see the Superman still about 7.5 inches tall. Darkseid still at about 10 inches, a little bit less. And then the Dream Batman, bit over around 7.5 inches tall, and then the armored Batman looking around 8 inches. And then to measure out the Darkseid base, this is about 8.25 inches across and 5 inches deep, and I'm looking about 5.75 inches tall. And the 2-pack base is at about 10 inches across. Then here's the 3 Cavill Superman figures from the McFarlaneToys DC Multiverse line. We have the black and silver, we have the silver, and we have the regular, or the BvS version, which, damn, again, I love this figure. Then here's the Darkseid comparison once more. I guess maybe because of the pose, this one's looking a little shorter than this one. I don't know. They're the same figure, just painted differently. Then here's the Dream Sequence Batman figures side by side once more. Then here's the armored Batman side by side together again, and damn, I love this one. Out of these 3, which one is your favorite? Like, if you could only pick one, which one would you keep? I'm going with this one. I really do like all 3 of them, though. I guess probably this one the least. So similar to this one, just a different head, which, by the way, yeah, McFarlaneToys does that. At least they included a bunch of accessories with the 2-pack instead of just different heads, but still, it always kind of bugs me a little bit. At least this one has a different paint job. Then I wanted to compare the Knightmare Batman and the Armored Batman next to the regular Batman from Batman v Superman, and I love this figure so much too. And here's 4 out of the 7 BvS figures that we looked at today. Next to your average 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Oh, Batman's Superman. Bad guy over there. Don't worry, I'll help. Yeah! So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I appreciate you guys watching. These figures I've had in hand for a little while now, so I apologize it's taken so long for me to get my video up, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. If you want to see more, we'll go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and if you want the perks, well, go ahead and hit that join button. Now, these figures are fun. I really love the Armored Batman figure a lot. I can't really stop talking about that one. It's just such a cool figure. I really do like it a lot. The Knightmare Batman is probably my least favorite of the bunch. Like, I'm not a big fan of it. And the Darkseid is actually pretty cool. And especially since I found that lentacular piece that goes to the backdrop, that makes it even cooler. And then, you know, the False God Superman, not necessary, but still neat. I'm happy to have it. If I was just finding that at the store, I would probably pick it up. Maybe, I don't know, that'd be a 50-50, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to rate these separately, and they are sold at different prices. So at 23 bucks for the Superman figure, I'm going to give that a SUD rating of...
It's not so bad.
And then for Darkseid, priced at 50 bucks, I'm going to give him a SUD rating of...
It's not so bad.
Knightmare Batman all by himself, I'm giving that a SUD rating of...
Meh.
And the 2-pack, which is priced only at 40 bucks, which isn't bad, I'm giving that a SUD rating of...
It's not so bad.
And then the Armored Batman figure, along with the variant, I'm giving those a SUD rating of... And I'd like to know what you guys think. That's probably the most SUD ratings in one video. That's a lot of SUD. Hope you enjoyed the SUD, though. And again, I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think. If you want to see the latest in action figure news, you can find it all over at toynewseye.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. And I will catch you guys later. Peace.
That's crispy.
Then here's the Knightmare Batman. Then here's the Dream Sequence Batman. Then here's the Dream Sequence Batman. Then here's the Dream Sequence Batman figures. Then here's the Dream Sequence. Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face.